Hey, we got one more here. Ed 363364 Hawaii, Wyoming. Interesting matchup. We got kind of a tricky handicap here. Some injuries involved as well, like we were talking about before. Looks like Wyoming -6 at Penny, -6.5 pretty much everywhere else. 57.5 the total across the board. Any thoughts on this one from your numbers?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that total jumped out at me. I really wanted to like the over in this game. They're two pretty bad defenses and two pretty potent offenses. Hawaii has actually looked pretty good. We talked about this, I think, last week's show, where Hawaii wasn't able to cover against UCLA, but they moved the ball. They were able to get yards against probably not a great UCLA defense, but probably UCLA defense that's better than this Wyoming defense. But then, there's questions about quarterback Josh Allen for Wyoming. And, he's really the engine that drives that offense. He's able to make these big plays, might even be a first-round NFL draft pick. I don't know if I necessarily see that. But he was listed as probable, and I looked it up a little bit more. I think he injured his shoulder against Iowa. Hasn't particularly looked good this season. If a guy's just listed as probable and he's got an ankle or something, that's one thing. But if a guy banged up his shoulder a couple weeks ago and really hasn't looked the part since then, and he certainly didn't look the part against Oregon last week. I think they had less than 2 yards an attempt through the air. That makes me worry a little bit. I did like the over. Going to pass on the game because of the injury.
No, you bring up a great point, Ed, and it's something that worries me as well. I just noticed that the Hawaii defense is pretty horrific, especially against like UMass earlier on in the season. UMass was able to throw the ball on them a lot. So the injury does scare me, but I still think this 57.5 is short, man. I think that, Wyoming should be able to put up points, hopefully. But you're right. If the injury is too much, it could be a big problem for them moving the ball. I didn't bet this one big either, but I did bet it, and I am on the over, so 57.5.
Right.
I'm going with the over on the record for man versus machine. Looks like you're going to pass on this one, though.
I'm going to pass. I would definitely lean towards the over. Do you have an opinion on the side?
I like the rainbows, man, but I haven't bet it.
Yeah. So my numbers put it right at about 6. And so these numbers come from taking margin of victory and adjusting for strength of schedule. I think that's particularly important in these kinds of games where you have teams from different conferences. So it's also, considering data from last year as well. Okay. But essentially, when I say I have a number, it means margin of victory adjusted for strength of schedule, unless I say otherwise. It kind of puts this right on where the market is. I would definitely kind of lean towards Hawaii too on the side. Given the quarterback injury, I think I could definitely lean towards Hawaii on the side. Not something I've talked myself into yet, though.
Okay, and Ed, as far as like when you're making your numbers, your machine, if you will, do you notice that you have more accuracy as the season goes on, or would you say it's more accurate in the college football season earlier on?
It usually tends to be pretty uniform. I look at it of how the spread differs from what my prediction is. It tends to be about the same early to late season, but the markets are about the same early to late season, which I actually found a little surprising. I thought it'd be a little bit worse towards the beginning of the season.
Yeah, we do get more volatility, especially in the totals market in the beginning of the season. At least in the last couple of years, that's what I've noticed.
Yeah, for sure. But I've also seen some crazy total moves late in the season too. So I don't want to just pin it, early season. So yeah, actually, I can dig into some of those numbers. I did the analysis in the off season. Happy to share that with you guys next week if people are interested. Leave us a comment.
Yeah, absolutely.
Find us
let
on
us
Twitter.
know what you want to see on the show, and Ed, anything else, man? You want to get after before we close it out?
Nothing. I'm pretty excited about some games this week. I'm pretty excited to be doing the show with you. I'm just looking forward to watching some college football this weekend. What about you, Drew?
I'm excited. I'm back in Costa Rica, and it's kind of been a whirlwind with the hurricane back home. But
right.
Ready to just kind of dig in on Saturday and really go to town. Sunbelt, Conference USA, MAC, just that. Look at the ESPN3 slate. A lot there that we'll be able to take into the next week and really bounce on those openers, mostly at Bet Online, but also Five Dimes and Chris right behind them. So I'm excited to get after it this weekend. Saturday is going to be a big day for me.
Nice.
Yeah, but this is Man vs. Machine. Find Ed on Twitter at the Power Rank. Thanks, Ed, and we'll see you next week. We'll be filming on Wednesday. It will be produced by Thursday morning. So thanks for tuning in.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to our channel. Now, we've put a lot of work into producing all these free videos, so please help us out and keep all our content free for you forever by simply liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. Now, not to mention, a visit to our industry-leading website will warm the hearts of all our SBR employees, especially myself. Now, the links are over there to the left, so do check those out. Thanks for watching.